Hi everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 57. This is a review lesson. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, the sight word study method instruction sheet, the student's sight word pack, some blank index cards, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the short vowel drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet, the keyword pictures, and the keyword sentence. Remember that you're going to discontinue this drill once the student has mastered the short vowel sounds. And for the phonemic awareness drill, we'll need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles for the student. Moving on to the visual drill and auditory drill, we'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the student's card pack. We'll have a syllable card drill set up on the table, so you'll need to cut this one out in advance. It will consist of open syllables and closed syllables. Then we'll have the magnetic letter tile drills for reading and spelling. You'll need the cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape for that one. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet, and the sheets for the lesson, which include the scooping syllables worksheet with the teacher answer key, and the single word list, the short story, and the 3 sentences for the writing portion of the lesson. In the review section of the lesson, we'll review the different sounds that schwa can make when it's schwa'd on different letters. We'll have a yes/no sort for is it an open syllable? And then we'll be discussing the sounds of Y. And we'll do a sort, and it's similar to the one we did in the last lesson, but in this one we're also adding Y as a consonant. So there'll be 3 choices. In addition to all of that, you might have a timer on the table. You'll need that if you've introduced a fluency element to the lessons. This is not included in the Orton Gillingham method, so you'll need a secondary program such as Read Naturally or the 6-minute reading solution. Let's start with the sight word study method. Student, you can take out your sight word card pack, and I want you to read every word in the pack. Once you read a word correctly, you'll put a check mark in the corner of the card. Teacher, you're ready with blocking strategies in case the student encounters difficulties. After the student reads all of the cards, the student will hand the card back to the teacher. And then it's the teacher's turn to read. The teacher reads through each of the words, and the student writes them down. When a word is written correctly, they'll put a check mark in the other corner of the index card. Then it's time to have a quick discussion about which of those words has been mastered. If there's a word that's mastered, you'll remove it from the card pack. Then, if there's time, you can introduce a new sight word. It's time for the short vowel drill. You'll need your keyword pictures and your keyword sentence. If you've mastered the short vowel sounds, then this drill will be discontinued. You'll take it out of the lesson. If there's still some short vowel sounds on which you're working, then you can take out those keyword pictures and you'll trace the shape of the picture and say the target word, so it might be itchy, and then underline it and say the target sound, I. You'll do that as many times as your teacher deems necessary, and then you'll move on to the next one on which you're working. Finally, you'll take out that keyword sentence, and you'll say each word in the sentence, stretching out the vowel sounds as you do it. It's time for the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you'll need your colored tiles for this one. Your word is not. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I am not going to have a second cookie. Okay, I'd like you to spell the word not with your colored tiles. Okay, now tap it and say it. You should have 3 colored tiles and they should be all different colors. What type of syllable is not? Is it open or closed? Did you say closed? If you did, that's right. How do you know that it's a closed syllable? Tell your teacher now. Did you say because you heard a short vowel sound, ah, like olive, and it's followed by a consonant, t, so we know it's closed in by a consonant? If you did, that would be a great answer. Now let's see what happens if we take that t away. Let's remove the babysitter in the closed syllable. So take away that one now. How does that change the vowel sound? Tap it and say it. Did you say no? If you did, that's right. I hear the O sound. So no longer is it saying olive, so we don't have a closed syllable anymore. This one is an open syllable. Let's close it back in. Can you add p to the end of no? We're going to close it in with a babysitter, so we're going to change that vowel sound again. Now tap it and say it. What's your new word? Did you say nop? If you did, that's right. Once we put the p back on the end, then we've closed it in. And in a closed syllable, we have those short vowel sounds. The ones that we use are keyword pictures for apple, Eddie, itchy, olive, and up. Okay, so you have nop. Can you find the ah in nop? Change the ah to I. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say nip? If you did, that's right. I might say the puppy will nip at my heels. Okay, let's take away the p at the end of nip. Now we don't have a closed syllable anymore, so that vowel sound will change. Tap it and say it. Did you say nigh? If you did, that's right. Now change the in nigh to a h. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say hi? If you did, that's right. Now let's close in that vowel again. So we're going to change it from an open syllable back to a closed syllable. Add a to the end of hi. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say him? That's him over there. If you did, that's right. So that I of the open syllable, once it gets closed in by the M, it goes back to its short happy sound. I. Great job. You can put your tiles away. Let's move on to the visual drill. You'll need your card pack for this one. The teacher flashes a card and the student says the different sounds that the symbol makes. Ready? What sounds does this one make? It has 4 sounds. Did you say y, I, and E? If you did, that's right. Teacher, you can do about 6 to 8 flashcards for this drill. Let's do the auditory drill. We'll use the same card pack that we used in the visual drill. Student, your sound is ks. Can you repeat that sound? Now I'd like you to draw the symbol that goes with ks. Say the sound as you're writing it. Once you finish, underline it and say the sound again. And then we'll check your work. How did you do? Did you get X? X makes that k and s sound, so together it says ks. Good job. Teacher, you can do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. It's time for the syllable card drill. Your teacher has this one cut out and ready to go on the table for you. You will read down all the syllables in the left column, and then you'll read down all the syllables in the right column. Then you'll read across the rows, making nonsense words as you go. Then it's time to make real words, so you'll unscramble those syllables in the second column so that they match up with different ones in column number 1. As you create real words, you will read the word and discuss the meanings. It's great if you have time to put some of these words into sentences as well. Let's do some syllable pounding. To do this, you stretch out your arm, and you're going to tap your arm as you say the word, and as you hear the different syllables in the word, you will shoot out 1 finger for each syllable. If you'd rather, you could just have your hand under your chin, and when a syllable happens, your jaw drops, and it'll hit your hand, so that'll tell you how many syllables are in the word. So choose your method, and you're listening for vowel sounds, because remember what a syllable is. A syllable is a word or part of a word with one vowel pattern. So we're listening for that vowel pattern, that vowel sound. Okay, here it is. Ready? How many syllables are in this one? Bay. Did you say one? That's right, I hear the A sound in bay. Try this one. Basic. Did you say two? If you did, that's right. I hear the A in bay and the I in sick. How about this word? Red. I hear one in that one, just the eh sound. How about this one? Re. I hear one. I hear the long E sound in that one. Okay. How about this one? Refit. Did you say two? If you did, that's right. Now it's time to take out your syllable scooping worksheet. You'll need your How to Scoop Syllables instruction sheet as well. Your teacher will let you know how many words you have time to scoop, and make sure you're following that instruction sheet so that you're beginning by dotting the vowels. Teacher, remember that you have the answer key to help you as well. We've been talking about this concept of schwa. I'm going to put the graphic up here that you're used to seeing. And student, I'd like you to tell your teacher everything that you know about this idea of schwa. After you have that conversation, then there is a drill for you to do, a syllable card drill. You'll have the symbol for schwa, which is that upside down E, and you'll tap it and say it in all these 2-syllable words. They're all unscrambled, so you can just read straight across each row. And you'll tap it and say it, and then you'll figure out which of those vowels is schwad, and you'll put the symbol on the correct vowel. We've been talking about this idea of the open syllable. Can you take out your open syllable rule card? Here, I'll put it up on the screen here as well. And we want to begin by thinking about what does it mean to be an open syllable? How many vowels are in an open syllable? Tell your teacher now. Okay. And is the vowel at the beginning, middle, or end of the word? Tell your teacher now. The vowel is, there's always one vowel in an open syllable, and that vowel will be at the end of the word. When you have those two conditions, you have an open syllable. And what sound does a vowel make in an open syllable? Does it say the long sound or the short sound? It says the long sound. I'd like you to do a card sort to practice this idea of what it means to be an open syllable. Your teacher has it cut out and ready for you to go on the table. There is a yes pile for yes, it is an open syllable, and a no pile for no, it's not an open syllable. You'll take the card, and I don't want you to read the card. In this drill, I've included syllable types that you haven't even studied yet. I'm just including them so that you can get used to seeing that in some words there are more than one vowel. But in an open syllable, there's one vowel and the vowels at the end. So just quickly sort through them based on that definition, and please don't read them. Let's move on. We've been talking about the different sounds of the letter Y. There's a little song that we like to sing to remember the times that Y is a consonant and the times that Y is a vowel. It all depends on where the Y is placed in the word. Let's sing our song to remember. A-E-I-O-U are vowels that I know you've heard, but Y is only a vowel when it's not at the start of a word. So what does that mean? Y is only a vowel when it's not at the start of a word. When it's at the start of a word, it's not a vowel. So in this case, this is a consonant sound of Y. When Y is a consonant, what sound does it make? Tell your teacher. Did you say y? If you did, that's right. So tap this word and say it. Did you say yes? If you did, then I will say yes, you are correct. But what sound does Y make when it's in the middle of a word? Well, it's acting as a vowel when it's in the middle of a word. So let's just show you a case where that could be. When Y is in the middle of a word, do you remember what sound it can make? Tell your teacher now. Did you say Y makes I when it's at the start in the middle of a word? The short I sound of itchy? If you did, that's right. And then how about when Y is at the end of a one-syllable word? What sound does it make there? Tell your teacher if you remember. At the end of a one-syllable word, it makes the I sound, the long I sound. And that makes sense because it's acting as an open syllable there. And open syllables say the long vowel sound. Let's do a sort to practice identifying these different sounds that Y can make. These are all ones that you can read, and I would like you to tap it and say it, and then sort it into the correct header. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. You're going to read a two-syllable word, so we're going to think of this syllable by syllable. So let's start off by getting the first syllable. Your sound is B. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your next sound is A. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now think about what type of syllable you're looking at and tap it and say it. Did you say bay? If you did, that's right. Now let's get the second syllable. Your sound is S. Can you say that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your next sound is I. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The last sound is S. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap that syllable and say that syllable. Did you say sis? If you did, that's correct. Now put the two syllables together. Tap each one and say the whole thing together. Did you spell it B-A-S-I-S? If you did, that's correct. And did you say basis? If you did, that's right. Great work. Put your tiles away and let's get ready for a new word. Okay, this is going to be another two-syllable word. So let's think of it in parts. Syllable 1. Can you say the sound H? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say you? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now that's syllable 1. So think about, are you looking at an open syllable or a closed syllable? And now tap it and say it. Did you say it as hue? If you did, that's right. Now let's get syllable 2. Your sound is Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and say it and pull it to the middle. Can you say ah? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say n? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap and say that syllable 2. Did you say man? If you did, that's correct. Now put the two syllables together and say the whole word. Did you say human? If you did, that's right. Great work. Teacher, if there's time, you could do another word in this way, and if not, you can move on to the single word list. After the student reads the single word list, you'll move on to the short story. And then if you've added a fluency element, that would be where you would put it into the lesson. Now let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. So grab your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape. Your word is raven. Can you repeat that word? I might say I saw a raven flying in the sky. How many syllables are there in raven? Raven. There's 2. So let's spell it syllable by syllable. The first syllable is ray. What's the first sound that you hear in ray? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in ray? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Okay, that's our first syllable. Let's do syllable number 2 now. Ven. What's the first sound that you hear in ven? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the second sound that you hear in ven? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the last sound that you hear in ven? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap that second syllable and say it. And now let's say the whole word. So the first syllable and the second syllable put together. Okay, did you spell it R-A-V-E-N for raven? If you did, that's right. Put those tiles away and let's try a new word. Your word is fly. I would love to be able to fly. What's the first sound that you hear in fly? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the next sound that you hear in fly? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in fly? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Did you spell it F-L-Y? If you did, that's right. We use Y when we hear that long I sound at the end of a one-syllable word. Teacher, if there's more time, you could do another word in this way. Otherwise, let's move on to writing some single words. So student, you're going to need some lined paper and a pencil. I'll say your word is dry. Can you repeat that word? Now I'd like you to tap it out, each sound, and say the sounds, and then grab the whole word, say the whole word, and then write it down. Okay, did you spell it D-R-Y? If you did, that's right. Let's do another one. Try. Tap it and say it, and then write it down. Give it your best try. Okay, did you spell it T-R-Y? If you did, that's right. Here's an open syllable. He. He is sitting at the bus stop. Okay, did you spell it H-E? If you did, great job. Here's another one. By. By the way, this is your last single word. So tap it and then write it down. Did you spell it B-Y? If you did, that's right. Okay, it's time to write some complete sentences. So teacher, read out the 3 sentences to the student, and then the student will choose the 2 that will be written. After the student writes a sentence, make sure the student checks the work with chops. We've been talking a lot about the schwa sound. Student, what sound does schwa make when you schwa an A? And what sound does schwa make when you schwa an E? What sound does schwa make when you schwa an O? Well, in all cases, it's making the same sound. Can you repeat that sound? When we schwa a letter I, it actually usually makes a different sound. This happens in complement. What sound does it make when you schwa an I? Did you say I, which is the short sound of I? Itchy. If you did, that's right. We've been talking about the open syllable. Is this an open syllable? Have a quick discussion with your teacher and tap and say this word. This is an open syllable. It has one vowel, and the vowel's at the end of the word. It's not closed in. It's just open to the world. So it's going to say its long sound. So that word is me. The other thing we've been talking about is the different sounds that Y can make. Y can make 4 sounds. It's predictable because he makes different sounds in different parts of the word. So when Y is at the start of a word, what sound will it always make? It makes the Y sound. Y is a consonant when it's at the start of the word, and it will always say Y. How about when you find Y in, let me just grab this here, in the middle of a word? Can you tap and say that word? Or that syllable? Okay, that's sim. So the Y is making the short I sound. In the middle of a word, you can count on the idea that in the middle of a syllable, it'll make the I sound. And then how about when Y is at the end of a one-syllable word? Like in this one. Tap and say that word. In that case, the Y is making the long I sound. That word is sly. That's the end of our lesson for today. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.